All right, my friends, we're starting off laying down. So I just want to give you a little time to transition and come down and spread your back out on the floor. Allow your eyes to close down. Allow your jaw to hang open. So put a lot of nice, easy space between your back teeth. Maybe, especially if you've been working today, okay, and who hasn't, let's maybe put a little extra tuck of the shoulder blades underneath your rib cage. So you feel the front side of your rib cage get a little broader. Maybe flipping the palms up, having a little external rotation in your shoulders gives you a little more spaciousness, a bigger chest to breathe into. And again, if you've been sitting especially a lot today, if you've been doing some desk time, you might have a little bend in your knees. If you just put a little bend and then you kind of knock your knees inward to make a little tent-like shape, that can give you a lot of extra freedom in your low back. Okay, a lot of nice space. So really fidget and get it just right, because we'll spend a few minutes just being here. Find your breath. Your biggest, most beautiful, expansive breath into your huge lungs. It puffs even your belly open. It's such a big breath. And allow your exhales to be so complete, cleaning out your lungs. Just taking a little time to harness this powerful breath as we expand and contract all the tissues of the torso and the belly, the rib cage, the back body, the side body. It gives us a great opportunity to warm and massage all these tissues from the inside. So use this time to find that maximum breath. Notice all the qualities of your breath. Its temperature, notice the roaring sound of your breath in your ears. I think it sounds like waves or wind, a powerful natural force flowing through your body. Bringing fresh energy and potential in. Cleaning stale energy, old patterns out. Notice your body as well. Okay, we've brought some awareness to the breath. Let's notice what this body is doing. Take a moment to watch the movement of your belly. Okay, on the inhale, embrace a big, soft, open, full belly. I like to call it a Buddha belly on the inhale. Let it in. And on the exhale, make a strong belly. Wrap all the belly muscles inward towards your spine. Squeeze the air out. So all the potential of this muscle that wraps around your torso. There's so much movement, and we haven't even gotten off the ground. Bring awareness now to your thoughts. Notice that aspect of what is happening now on your mat. What are your thoughts doing? Take some time to stand back and observe your thoughts the way that you would observe something beautiful like clouds, or something adorable like kittens, something that you would not try to control, just a product of nature. Look at your thoughts that way. As we begin to move, allow yourself to continue to come back to this place of awareness, of watching yourself, the way you would watch someone you really love. Let's bring in just a little gentle movement here. So with a little bend in your knees, walk your feet up closer and closer toward where your hips are. Okay, so that your knees are starting to point up. And then when your feet get pretty close to where your hips are, start to shimmy them away from each other. Okay, I like to take them all the way off the mat, and you kind of play with how far out you want to take them. But we'll start some windshield wipers here. So start dropping your knees. Just let them fall to one side. Pull them through center, let them fall to the other side. And then let's take several rounds of windshield wipers, just like this, side to side. No hurry, no rush. Okay, notice this really pleasant internal and then external rotation in each hip. So we're getting a really nice massage around the whole hip. And as a matter of fact, you might feel your entire pelvis getting a bit wrung out. You might feel some pops and some crackles. And as long as they feel good, they generally are. We've just got some synovial fluid that might be redistributing. Okay, feel also your low back getting gently wrung and twisted out. You might have some little adjustments there too, so just roll with it. Okay, in general, yogis, if it feels good, it is. And if it stresses you out, take a break, back it up, find something that feels nice. Okay, continue your windshield wipers. And I think these are best paired with some cactus arms. So make some nice cactus arms by bending your elbows and pointing your fingertips at the back of the space, your space. So your cactus arms are pressing onto the ground like a goalpost shape. And then you can give a really gentle resistance against the floor. It doesn't really have to be a lot, does it? For you to feel some extra space opening up across your chest. And so as you stabilize your upper body on the floor, you might feel this gives you more mobility. The twist rolls further up your spine. So, okay, dig that for a little while. And then let's deepen this twist. Let's make it a little more twisty. So keep your cactus arms, keep your upper body stabilizing on the floor as you mobilize that lower body. And next time your knees point up, pause. Pick your feet up, keeping your knees bent at this nice right angle, and glue your legs together. So your right angle legs are now glued together. your goalpost cactus arms are still glued to the floor. And then hover your legs on one side. Just a little hover. See if you can look away from them. Feel that twist roll all the way up your spine. Bring your legs through center here. Keep breathing. Hover them on the other side. Look away. Feel the twist roll all the way up your spine. And let's bring it through center. And now you find a little rhythm where you go side to side like this. Side to side, okay? I like to exhale on the twist and inhale through center, but you find what you like, okay? Just breathe, that's all. So now we're giving a full spinal twist, a full spinal massage. We're combining that big, beautiful breath. And next time your legs go over to the right, go ahead and pause there. Pause on the right, and then let them fall all the way to the floor. And let's take the left hand all the way over to the right as well. So you're now facing out to the right. You're laying on your right side, facing to the right. And I want to take what I call a sandwich shape here. So make a nice, neat little sandwich out of your body to where your hips are stacked, your knees are stacked, ankles, shoulders, wrists, everything is stacked right over left. And you feel nice and neat, a very tidy little club sandwich. Okay, notice here what is happening with your spine, okay? There's a tendency, which you might notice, of your right side to kind of drop toward the floor. So you feel your spine kind of collapsing toward the floor. What we want to do, you might have already guessed, is we want to engage and lift that right side away from the floor. Let's call it a mouse hole. So keep a little space under your right side so that a mouse could always crawl under there. This is going to give us the most length in the spine, okay, which is what we want, of course. We want a long spine. So from here, we're going to put left fingers on the floor, just above your right hand, okay? And we want to think of keeping the left arm long to make the biggest shape we can, because with your left fingers, you're going to draw a half circle over your head on the floor. So on the carpet, draw a huge half circle, reaching all the way out to the left, which is where you'll pause at the top of your inhale. And then take it back the way you came. Draw the left circle all the way back around to the right, okay? So I want to do this with you a few times. Keep your right side lifted, the little mouse hole. Inhaling, open up to this big, beautiful twist. Exhale, close it back up. Okay, if your eyes were open because you wanted to see what I was doing, and now you get the idea, go ahead and close your eyes here. Just feel yourself moving through space. Tune into what's happening in that spine, okay? That inhale, rolling open as you look to the left. And exhale, rolling it closed. Let's do this maybe 3 more times. 3 long and slow, your pace. Peeling open the left side of your rib cage and your chest. And exhaling to send it back home. The next time you open up, you're in that twist, you're looking to the left, you're reaching to the left, hold it right here. Let's just enjoy it, okay? So we want to really make a big wingspan. So press your shoulder blades down. Feel your chest is as broad and spacious and proud as it can be. And let's take some long, slow breaths here. 5 or 6 long, slow inhales into your big chest. Exhales into your strong belly. As you ground those shoulder blades, could you get a sense that you're trying to lift your chest? Almost like you're trying to do a back bend at the same time as the twist. Find the sound of the breath in your ears. One more breath here. Okay, friends, we're going to bring the knees through center, and we're just going to take it to the other side. So drop the knees on the left. Okay, let them fall all the way, and then take the right hand over to the left. So you're now facing left side sandwich shape. So take a little time to fidget your sandwich into crisp formation. Okay, the right side is now stacked over the left. Knees are bent at a right angle. Everything is crisp. Now make a little mouse hole under your left side, okay? You might forget about it. That's okay. Just remind yourself and lift it again, okay? Now we're using the right fingers on the floor to draw a huge half circle overhead as you inhale and open to reach to the right. Exhale and close it, drawing that half circle on the floor out to the left. Close your eyes. Just enjoy this nice movement. Any little sticky places in your chest, in your shoulder, in your armpit are able to melt open like butter right here as you do this. And take a few more nice and slow. Okay, friends. Next time you open up into the twist, that's the one we're going to hold, okay? So open up to the right. You're looking out there so you have that full spinal twist. And make your chest so big. So press your wingspan into the floor. Breathe. We're doing 5 or 6 long, slow breaths. So remember that feeling of grounding your shoulder blades and trying to lift your rib cage like you're trying to do a back bend at the same time. Big chest inhale. Strong belly exhale. One more really luscious long breath here. And bring the legs back on in. Come back through center. Okay. From here, take your elbows down by your side. Let's make robot arms. Okay, so your fingers are pointing up. I like to spread the fingers nice and wide here. Get a little stretch between your fingers. Okay, elbows are able to really push down into the floor here. So feel that you can make your chest big and open between your shoulders and the front. Bring your feet right close to your hips. Your heels are almost grazing your glutes. And then your knees, your heels, and your hips are just about all the same distance apart from each other. So your two legs are tracking pretty parallel. Then in your imagination, place a yoga ball, a tennis ball between your knees. Not a yoga ball, that would be way too big. So there's an imaginary tennis ball between your knees, and you are going to hold it and keep it from dropping to the floor. So squeeze the knees toward each other without erasing that space. You're going to feel the whole inner surface of each leg light up. You're going to feel your pelvic floor and your core light up and engage. So please keep your tennis ball as we begin to do some bridges. So with your inhale, we're lifting the hips toward the ceiling. Use your robot arms to press down and give you a little bit more oomph. And with your exhale, you're dropping your hips to the floor, but don't drop your tennis ball. Let's take a few more breaths, just like that. Inhale, hips up, bridge up. And exhale, hips down. So let's keep this moving, okay? We're gonna keep breathing. So as you move, let's keep some things in mind, okay? On top of not dropping the tennis ball, make sure your nose, the tip of your nose, points straight up. And that's going to give us some nice neutral cervical spine space. We don't want the back of the neck to touch the floor. Okay. In addition to that, let's cultivate a really nice rolling up and down, like we're picking one vertebra up at a time, and we're setting one vertebra at a time down. Building some nice heat in the back of your body. Building some nice control. So next time you come up, yogis, let's hold right there. Okay, robot arms pressed down. Knees are holding your tennis ball. See if you could think about pointing your tailbone at the ceiling for one more big breath in. Okay, as you exhale, slow motion, one vertebra down at a time. Make it last. All right, as that tailbone finally uncurls, bring your knees in towards your chest and grab your knees. See if you could give them a good squeeze in towards your chest, neutralizing and kind of smooshing your low back on the floor. This is a good time to kind of rock and roll around, kind of massaging your sacrum and your glutes on the floor. And then let's do some hip moving around. So one knee in each hand. You can take the knees in opposite circles and kind of stir your femur around in your hip socket. And make sure if you go one way, that you go the other way too. So rewind it. Okay, my friends, next time your knees come back together, tuck your hands behind your knees, and we'll do a few rocks and rolls. So very playfully, rock yourself up. See if you could balance on your seat, okay, with or without the aid of your toes in front, and then roll it back down. Okay, like a nice back massage, roll it up and balance, and roll it down. Maybe 2 or 3 more, just like this, okay? Find a childlike sense of newness about this. And next time you come up, let's balance there in a boat posture. Navasana. So in your Navasana, you always have the option to drop your toes. You always have that freedom. So feel free to do that. But no matter whether you have your toes up or down, remember that tennis ball between your knees. Put the tennis ball there now, okay? And make your spine as long as it can be. If you want a little extra spice here, you can reach one hand for your feet. A little bit more spice. You want extra spicy, you can reach two hands for your feet. Okay, hold your tennis ball and one more big breath in. Let that go. Allow your feet down. Okay. And if you point your knees out to one side, we'll transition to hands and knees, and I'll meet you there. So let's get a little wrist stretching in. Okay. Our wrists are, in general, overworked, overused, and underappreciated. So let's flip the palms up. Your fingers are pointing back at you now. And if you have super tender wrists and this is a little much, just do one at a time, okay? But if it's fine, just do two at a time. We're gonna combine this wrist stretch with a cat-cow. So elbows move inward toward each other. We have a little gentle inward engagement between those two elbows. And then same thing as any cat-cow, we're gonna pull the heart forward on your inhale. Think of pulling your hands back towards your knees. On your exhale, push the floor away. Okay, rounding your spine. Shake out your heavy head. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, round it. So find a rhythm here that really suits you. Close your eyes and find some big, beautiful, wavy movement in your spine. Make it so fluid that you're not sure where the cat ends and the cow begins. Okay, and then remember that it doesn't necessarily always need to be just a front and back movement, right? You can make it a little bit weird and move side to side. You can do some kind of jump roping, snaky movements with it. Feel free to really find all the little spaces in your rib cage, between your shoulder blades that need a little extra love. All right, friends, next time you pull your heart forward, you're back in that cow posture. Let's hold it right there and just breathe, okay? So think of pulling that heart forward. You're pulling back on your hands. You're lifting your belly button into your spine. You're big in your chest. Breathe here. Could you make a little extra space in the front of your rib cage? One more big breath in here. All right, exhale, push it away to that cat posture. Okay, rounded spine. Now I want you to make some extra space in the back of your rib cage. Keep breathing. Let your head hang. One more big breath here. And let this go, okay? Bring your hands back to normal. Oh, that was a really good stretch in the wrists, okay? Let's get off of our hands for a little while. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Go ahead and walk your hands back towards your feet. We're just gonna hang here in a really nice, luxurious forward fold. So bend your knees really generously, okay? Let your head hang. And take some long, slow breaths into the backs of your legs. You might want to sway side to side a little bit, bending into one knee, bending into the other knee. Okay, and remember to always let your heart hang low. So if you find that your heart is hanging way up by your hips and you're unsupported, this could be kind of dangerous for your back. So always bend generously when in doubt into the knees. And then fingertips on the floor in front of you. Rock your weight into your toes and then into your heels. Into the toes, into the heels. Rock forward and back a few more times. Toe, heel, toe, heel. And then find a perfect central, a center point in each foot, okay, where the arch is kind of sucking up away from the floor. And you feel the weight balanced in the center of each foot. And from here, we're going to roll up. So with your inhale, press down into the center of each foot. Stack your spine. You can really take your time here. Like the very first time you're ever standing up. Reach up tall. Maybe your heart lifts a little bit. Then exhale, hinging at your hips. Feel free to bend your knees. We're going to fold it all the way back down. Let's do that again, okay? Just like that, inhaling, roll it up, pushing down into your feet. Lift your big, big heart way up high. And exhale, hinge it all the way down. One more, just like that. Big breath in. And big exhale. Your palms are down here. With your inhale, walk your hands forward and find yourself a nice down dog, okay? Kind of an informal, like a casual down dog, walking your heels out. Really big movement in your feet. Spread your toes, spread your fingers, shake your head, yes. And no. And let's get some good movement in the shoulders, rolling the shoulders out. And then roll them the other way. All right, my friends. From here, let's step the right foot forward and just step it next to your right hand. We're going to drop that back knee, okay? So down in a nice little low lunge here, let's just move the hips forward and back a few times, okay? And I like to pair this with a really good flex in the right ankle, okay? So that when you pull back on that right hip, you feel a really yummy stretch across the whole back of the right leg. The calf, the thigh, even your glute. If you're a runner or a cyclist, your IT band might be talking to you. Who knows? Okay, next time you come forward into this low lunge, we're just going to sink in and kind of enjoy it for a little while. But to get the most out of it, we need a little bit of activation, okay? It doesn't have to be 100%. We don't need to crank it, but we do need at least 5 to 10% resistance against the floor. So both of your legs are actively pushing the floor away here, okay? Notice that gives you a little bit more space to open up in the right hip, the right hamstring, perhaps the front of the left thigh, okay? Once you've activated against the floor, start to pull your right knee inward towards your right arm, okay? So your right arm and your right knee are trying to fuse into one thing, okay? I like to think of you're trying to push yourself to the left and you're trying to push your knee back over to the right. So keep that engagement, okay? Keep them connected. And continue to resist the floor. So this might be where you would like to stay. Then this is a fine place to be. So if you want to open up a little more, maybe you feel kind of exploratory, you're not quite getting enough, then you can try coming down to one elbow. Just pick one, bring one elbow down, but keep that right knee moving in at you, okay? Maybe 2 elbows come down. And make sure it feels right. No pain, No strain, no stress. Not today, not here. Keep breathing. Maybe sending some extra breath to that right hip, the right side of the low back. And if you want to hang your head, do it, okay? But please keep a really long neck. So your shoulder blades are trying to move away from your ears. Nice breath here, okay? Notice perhaps after about 30 seconds or so, the posture tends to open up a little bit. We give it a little time, and that yoga magic starts to work. Maybe one or two more really nice long breaths right here. Just the minimum amount of effort is all we need. Okay, and then I kind of want to play around from here. So from where you are, whether you have an elbow down or not, you can just keep that, okay? Look over at your right knee and allow it to waggle out away from you. It should feel nice after pulling it in towards you all that time. You can use your right palm on the inside of your right knee and gently move it away from you, okay? Just use your instincts there. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So you're twisting in your spine a little bit, aren't you? You're looking over to the right, and you can kind of get into this. You can kind of slide the right shoulder blade down your back and start to look over your right shoulder. And then ask yourself how you're feeling about this. Okay, is this enough? If it is, you know what to do. Stay here. If you want to move into that left quadriceps a little bit, here's what we can do. Reach back with the right hand and see if you could bend that left knee and grab that left foot. And you know what? It might happen today. It might not. It might happen next lifetime. Who knows? But go for it. See what you think. If you get that left foot in your hand, you can pull the left knee towards your glute, and you can roll around on the bottom edge of your left thigh. So kind of think of where the tissues of your left thigh muscles meet your kneecap. You can get a really nice little massage for all those muscle insertions. Okay, again, runners and cyclists, this is going to be kind of it can be intense. Okay, so maybe we have one or two more nice little stretchy moments here. And then when you start to back out, rather than exploding, see if you can just come out very slowly, kind of the way you came in. So release the left foot if you had it. Okay, one hand back on the floor, back up on your hands. And we can take this right foot all the way back. Come on back. And I'll meet you up in a downward facing dog again. So let's get back in there. Walk it out. Notice how it feels. Chances are, all right, I'm willing to bet that your right leg feels different from your left, especially in that right hamstring. And as you're ready, beautiful people, let's do the other side. Let's get the left foot forward. Just send it forward by your left hand. We can drop that right knee. And let's just take a moment to rock forth and back with our hips. So take them forward, take them back. Okay, pair this with a nice flex in your left ankle, and it'll get you that great stretch across the left calf. Okay, it'll get you some nice opening in that left hamstring as well. Okay, notice how the front of the right hip is doing, okay? And remember to breathe. Sometimes I forget to breathe. Maybe you do too. Okay, let's settle in. Let's get this lunge happening. So, your left foot is pretty much lined up with your hands. And you can start to just activate your legs. So, giving the floor just some gentle resistance can sometimes change a posture just completely. So give it a little bit of activity. I like to think of 5 to 10% of the strength that you have. And then start to press that left knee in at your body, like you're trying to push yourself to the right with your left knee. So squeeze it in, okay? Like it's contacting your body all the time. And then give it some time. Okay, you don't need to pop down to your elbows right away, do you? You have so much time. Okay, in general, it takes about 30 seconds for a stretch to even really begin to happen in the way that we want it to. So, no rush. And if you feel like you want to come down to an elbow, get down to an elbow, but keep that left knee moving in at you. Maybe 2 elbows today, maybe not. Maybe 1 elbow is good, or none. You decide. Okay, let that head hang. Let the legs work a little bit against the floor. Keep your long neck. And that big, beautiful breath. Notice if you're holding any unnecessary tension here. You would be shocked. Check out your jaw, okay? Do you notice that you might be clenching your jaw or your forehead a little bit? Or can you let go? Your fingers, your toes. We're going for minimal effort. Allow your breath to wash over any places that might feel intense or sticky right now. Imagine growing gills there and breathing through that spot. Okay, we're going to kind of riff on what we already have. So if you have your elbows down, you can stay on your elbows, you can come up to your hands, but let's start to look over to the left. Now allow that left knee to flop over to the left. Let it to just drop away from you. You can roll onto the outer edge of your left foot if you like, and you're starting to look over to the left with your whole upper body, using that left palm on your inner left knee. You can press it away gently. Okay, how do you feel about that? Give yourself some time to feel it out. There's no rush. There's nowhere to go with this. Perhaps this is enough. Perhaps we want that quad stretch on the right side. Okay, you can bend that right knee, reach back the left hand for the right foot. Okay, maybe today you're just reaching, and that's pretty good too. So no perfect form here except the one that feels right. But if you have the right foot, pull it in close to your glute and start to roll on the outer edge of that, or the bottom edge of your front thigh. This is a really good movement to note differences between right and left. For this, they'll tend to be pretty noticeable. And that's always good information to notice and gather and store away for later. We're always gathering information. We're fearless explorers. All right. After you have done enough on this side, come out slowly. Retrace your steps. Okay, hands back on the floor in front. Sending the left foot back to meet the right. From here, let's take one last down dog just to cleanse the palate and notice how we're feeling about it. So come up to this last one. Walk it out. How are the backs of the legs feeling? How's the low back feeling? Shoulders. How's your breath? How's your heart rate? How's your body temperature? And what's the general climate of your thoughts? Okay. From here, beautiful people, drop to your knees. Come all the way down. Okay, come down to a child's pose. Sitting on your heels, forehead down on the ground. From here, we're going to build a little bit of a twist. Okay, so if you just pick up your left hand, and you're going to have to pick up your head too, and then slide your left hand underneath your right arm, and then think of reaching out perpendicular to your mat, to your spine. You can flip that left palm up and just drop your left shoulder, drop your ear, your left ear, and you can stay right here. This is kind of option A, okay? Keeping the right fingers on the ground, breathing deeply. Maybe feeling the back of your left shoulder between the shoulder blades opening up. So if you want a little more here, you can deepen this twist by taking the right fingers to press against the ground. And you can play with that, breathe into that for a little while. Feel the ribs expand and contract. If all is going well, try this. Try interlacing your fingers together. So your hands are joined, you're holding your own hand. And then extend your right elbow so that both arms are straight. Do your best to have a long neck. And remember, because you're twisting, make the most of it by breathing so big into your ribs, front, back, sides. Maybe one more breath right here. And then allow yourself to come through center. So I like to bring the right hand back to center first here. And then untuck the left arm, send the left hand back out front. So back where you started. Take a breath at center, and then of course, we're switching sides. So you can pick up your head, slide that right arm under the left, palm up. You're reaching out perpendicular to your spine, and you can drop that right shoulder. When it feels right, drop your right ear. And you can keep it right here. Okay, option A. Do your best. If you notice your hips kind of peeling up, do your best to keep them down. Okay, option B, interlace your fingers, hold your hands, and extend your left elbow to be straight. Big, beautiful breath. Slowly make your way back to that child's pose at center. And this, my friends, is where we will rest. So this will be our final resting posture. So absolutely welcome to try any other final resting posture that suits you better today. As long as you can rest in it, it's your resting posture. So get comfy. And the culmination of our entire hour of practice happens right now. And this is the moment when we let go. This is the moment when we release control over the breath. And we just let it run wild again. Notice the natural pace of the breath now compared to an hour ago. Let's do the same with this body. Release all control over your body. There's nothing to do, and there's nothing to undo. Allow all of your tissues to soften and get pulled down toward the center of the earth. Feel tension draining out of your cells. Anything that remains, anything that no longer serves you is gone. Watch also your thoughts, okay, without controlling them, without changing anything. Just watch your thoughts. Watch your beautiful mind do its thing. Notice if the climate of the thoughts is any different than it was an hour ago. And give yourself this time just to be, to experience this moment. Being intensely present with each sensation that arises. Every sound. This is the only moment that there is. Please keep resting like this for as long as you can, okay? Even take a little nap if you can. That would be great. This is where I will leave you for our practice today. Thank you so much for joining me, practicing with me, and taking good care of yourselves.